Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Appreciate all the love, man, for all the videos, man. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the subscribers, the new subscribers. We welcome all of y'all over here. We want that positive energy, man. We want y'all to spread the word. We on a road to 100K. Let's get it. It's within our grasp. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. We doing it over here. We ain't playing. We got the best YouTube stories on YouTube. That's right. I said it because it's true, and I'm a truth teller. So we out here getting it, man, and I appreciate the love. By popular demand, back by popular demand, man. Y'all wanted to know some more about the legend himself, The Rock, the big man on campus, Sam Pitts. Yeah, the most dangerous man in the Virginia DOC, in my estimation. And I've met many, many, many dangerous men, man, in prison. Many of them, man. No cut card with them, no back down, no retreat, no surrender type dudes, man. But Sam was, to me, just a cut above. He was hated by many, but feared and respected by all. By all, you understand? Police, convict, inmate, yeah, that's just his whole MO. And he earned that. You know, he earned that the hard way. He earned it the hard way. He ain't he lived life on his terms, man. In the penitentiary, the way he moved, the way he he asked for no permission from nobody to do nothing. He did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it, and then let the chips fall where they may. Let the chips fall where they may. That's how Sam lived. That's how he moved. As I told y'all before, he was a big dude, man. 6'3", 6'3 and a half. Powerful, very powerful. And if you know anything about boxing, man, he had he had big hands, but he had what you call heavy hands. You know, you got some boxers, you know, they got heavy hands. Whereas you see one boxer do the exact same thing, he may be the exact same size as another dude, but you'll see the effects on his punches is like, it don't seem like he's swinging as hard as the next man, but the impact will be greater. That's called heavy hands. You got dudes that got that, man. Small guys, big guys. Case in point, Tank Davis. Lil Tank from Baltimore. Shout out to Tank Davis, man. Javante Tank Davis, he got heavy hands. That's why when he hit a dude, he hurt him, he put him down, he set him down, because the impact is so great by, you know, the weight of his hands, the heaviness of his hands. One of the greatest champions ever, you know, the main man, the great Sonny Liston, you know, the Bear, dubbed by the great Muhammad Ali. He had them hands, man. He had 13, 14-inch hands. And they were so heavy that the impact was so great that mostly everybody he fought, he knocked out, he KO'd. You know, Sam had that gift. You know, he had that gift. And along to go with that gift, he had that big heart. You know, that big heart, man. And when I tell you big heart, I mean a big heart. This dude was, he was different. You know, he was different. He was relentless. He was overpowering. He was no back down, no surrender, no retreat. And he would do whatever. whatever the course called for. You know, whatever the mission called for, that's what he would do. And I think back to those days, man, and the things I used to hear some, I witnessed, but it's general knowledge in the penitentiary. Inside those walls, people know who he are. They know what he did. They know, what he stand for. And I'm just probably gonna tell y'all a little bit about, a little bit more or less about his boxing in there, a little bit probably about, his in-house activities, the way he carried it on the yard, the way he carried it in the penitentiary. But his boxing, man, was it was amazing, man. It was amazing. They had actual promoters, fight promoters, man, big promoters, big name people from the streets trying to come in there to get Sam out because they wanted Sam to fight pro. They wanted Sam to fight on the street. They wanted Sam to be a heavyweight champion of the world. They felt like he had the talent, the heart, the skills to do just that. And I believe he did, I truly believe he did, man, because of the viciousness of him. When I look back over the history of the heavyweight boxers, your Mike Tysons, your Ernie Shavers, your George Foremans, your Muhammad Ali's and stuff like that, I could easily see Sam sliding in there with his heart, with his drive, with his work ethic, with his ability, with his punching power. He could have easily slid up in that mix and made some noise, easily slid up in there and made some noise. But the choices that he made in life put him in the position that he was in prison, where those were impossibilities, And then by the time he got into prison and the things he did in prison and the way he carried it, and building up a dangerous, impeccable reputation in prison, led the people to believe that he would be a menace to society and that he wasn't fit to go out on the street, let alone to go out there and be a professional boxer. And who knows if that's true or not? Who knows, because it never came to pass. But his talent alone was so great that it didn't stop promoters from coming in there, from going to the DOC, for trying to negotiate his freedom, for trying to, do what they do. Them powers that be, they shift, the atmosphere, they shift the earth. They can make things happen, with money and power, anything can happen. But, like I said, being the Sam situation was, what it was, and the things that he had already did in prison, I think that just took everything off of the table. But they still came, man. They still came. And you got to remember back in the 70s and early 80s and stuff, they were bringing dudes in to fight inmates in prison. Professional fighters, Golden Glove winners, AAU champions. They were bringing those dudes in there to fight Sam because of his reputation, because of they heard about his ring, his ring generalship, the things he was doing in the ring, and they bring him in there to test him against dudes like that. And when you in boxing growing up, you in the AAU, you in the Golden Gloves, the Silver Gloves, and all of that. That's what they do. Every champion boxer you seen today that's out there right now, in whatever city they from, say they from, say Baltimore, Tank from Baltimore. Tank have probably been took during his youth to Philadelphia, Michigan, Virginia, Maryland, DC. He probably been took all over the world to spar other dudes of his size, of his ilk, just to see if he's just good in Baltimore or is he, good everywhere. Is his skills just good where it's at, or will his skills translate all over the world? And that's what you do when you're in boxing. You travel a lot just to get those different experiences. You know what I'm saying? People don't know that one of the greatest fighters in the world is from right here in this area, Tidewater, man. Shout out to Pernell Whitaker, Sweet Pea, one of the greatest who ever did it, ever laced up a pair of gloves. And they brought Floyd Mayweather down here to train with Pernell when he was 16 years old, to learn that defense, to learn that skill set, to learn, things that you really can't teach unless you get it from the source. Because you have certain people that's just that good, and Pernell Whitaker is one of those people. So a lot of what you see in Mayweather, a lot of what you've seen in Mayweather came from Pernell Whitaker. And that came because his trainer was Roger, his uncle, who actually was dethroned and beat by Pernell Whitaker in his youth. So Roger felt like Pernell was the best dude he ever fought defensively. So now I'm training my nephew, so why not take him to the best that I know? You see what I'm saying? So that's how it goes. So they used to actually bring fighters in to fight Sam, to test their fighter to see if you can deal with this brutality, You know, this hungry animal, this lion, this caged lion who's locked up, you know, and Sam crushed them all. Crushed them all, man. I mean, I remember, I think they said they brought in the AAU champion from Charlottesville, you know, heavyweight, big boy, crushing stuff out there. They looking to put him on a trajectory to go to be the heavyweight champion or to fight pro and stuff and accomplish something in the ring. And he come in there with Sam and get crushed in 2 rounds, knocked out, unconscious. You know, The Rock, you know, The Rock. And you can imagine in prison like that, when they have events like that and bring somebody in like that, and then Sam do what he do and show who he is and display these skills and knock a man out that's out there that's getting ready to get it, just let you know what Sam could have done, what Sam could do, and it just make the penitentiary so proud. It's like it make the legend of Sam just even grow even bigger. You know, because the more they brought in, the more they took up out there, you know, disappointed. Because Sam was dropping them, man. I mean, like flies, you know. And then I remember they brought in, they said they brought in the boy from Richmond, the AAU champion from Richmond. I'm trying to remember, like I say, his name was D. Spellman. Because I talked to one of Sam's closest friends, man, who's out now, and we talked sometime. We just talked last week, you know, and he was telling me some of the things that I heard about but didn't actually witness, but he was right there on the scene. And he was telling me about when they brought the dude in from Richmond, man, AAU champion, Golden Glove champion, some dude named Spellman or something, Spellman. And they brought him in there. He was highly sought after, man, and on a fast track to, you know, to do something in the heavyweight division. And he came in there and rumbled with Sam, man, and he found out what The Rock was all about. He found out he won't know Sam, man. The Rock knocked him out too. Knocked him out. Unconscious. Big Sam. Yeah. This is what we talking about, you know. And he was relentless, man, and his power was you know, legendary. You know, so just imagine, you know, what he doing to a dude in a ring with gloves on, 10 ounce, you know, 8 ounce and 10 ounce gloves, 12 ounce gloves. Just take them gloves off and imagine the damage he can do to a human being, you know, with no gloves, with no referee, with nobody to save you. You know, this is what you had to deal with when you dealing with a dude like Sam on the yard. Now, who gonna deal with that? You know, and then you might say, okay, well, I ain't gonna deal with that. Well, I'm gonna get to Bethlehem. Yeah, well, he'll use that too. Yeah, he'll use that too. You know, and then with his skills, and he use that too. And I'm telling you right now, he's not gonna spare you. He's gonna take your life. Yeah, he's gonna take your life at the end of that ordeal. You know, so your only recourse to dealing with him was to be able to take his life or be willing to attempt to take his life. Now you got to ask yourself, how many men are willing to take that chance? How many men are willing to step out there on Front Street when they knowing that the end result could be death? Yeah, this is what you're dealing with when you deal with somebody with the pedigree and the reputation and the aura around him of a Sam Pitts, The Rock, you know. And you had vicious dudes in there, like I told y'all back in them days like that too. Bo Billy's name was ringing. Bo Billy was an animal. You know, you had another boxer out there that was of a smaller weight class. He was a middleweight. He went out and fought pro and even won a belt from out my way, from out DC. Name was Marquette. You know, the promoters and stuff got him out. He went out there and actually won a belt. You know, fighting in the system. You know, get out there and win a belt. Dudes, you got dudes like did it all over the years and over the history. The biggest one that I can think of that accomplished the most would probably be Bernard Hopkins. You know, Bernard Hopkins did 11 years, you know, in prison in Philadelphia and became one of the greatest legends of all times in boxing. You know, so it's a lot of talent behind them bars that have made bad mistakes and made bad judgment calls and caused them not to be able to live out their potential in life, not to be able to become what they could have become because of the choices that they made. This is why we do the YouTube. This is why we preach 33 years of prison stories, to make these dudes look at their decisions while they out here before they make them. Because you don't know the potential is in you. It ain't got to be boxing. It can be something else. You got greatness in you. We all do, but we have to find out where the greatness is at, and then we have to, you know, we have to feed that greatness. You know, we have to feed it so it can grow, and we have to follow that and try to do something, man, that won't put us in a position where we won't be able to do nothing. And that's what happens when you go to prison. That's what happened to Sam. You know what I'm saying? So now Sam just became a penitentiary legend, you know, when he could have been a world legend. You dig? But at the same time, make no mistake about it, he is most definitely a penitentiary legend. Yeah, of the highest ilk, you know. And you know, like I say, DC, you know, Chocolate City, home of your boy here. You know, they known for boxers. You know, we grow up boxing. That's what we taught, while all these other cities is teaching wrestling and football and basketball and baseball. In DC, the fundamental sport is boxing. You know, that's the greatest pastime, boxing. How good are you with your hands? You know, that's what they want to know in the city. They ain't talking about no hitting no baseball. And we got great football players and we got great baseball players and basketball players and so on and so forth that did it in the sport. But boxing is our forte, man. Boxing is our forte. That's what we grow up with. That's what we know. That's what we love. That's what, you know, you have a passion for when you little. That's what you're going to need when you go out there on them DC streets, or you go to school and you run into old Billy Bob or Johnny or somebody, you get to run in your mouth and bang, bang, you can get knocked out because you don't know how to bob and weave. So you have to learn them skills, because on the streets of DC, those are survival skills. Yeah, those survival skills on the streets of DC, you need those. You go out there with that old wrestling stuff or running your mouth or trying to be tough, man, you gonna be walking around with buck niggas in your mouth. You can get your teeth knocked out, you can get your jaw broke, you can get your ass swole. So yeah, you need those skills out there in the city, man, to survive, to grow up. You know, you might you might meet a lot of dudes when the city got them missing teeth and, you know, got cuts on the eye and all of that, and you can have a good idea where they came from. Pretty good idea, you know, growing up in the city, you know. So with that being said, you know, you had a lot of dudes in Lawton too that was locked up, and Lawton had one of the best boxing system in whole state of anywhere, especially the state of DC or city of DC. So they can box with anybody. They used to bring dudes in there from all over the country, Michigan, Los Angeles, anywhere you can name, and they come up in Lawton, and the chances was high 90-something% chance they leaving out there with L's. They leaving out there with losses, because them dudes eat, sleep, breathe, and think boxing. So they had some of the most vicious boxers in there that most definitely could have been pro, could have definitely been champions, you know. But like I say, the decisions that they made, you know. So you take that in course, you know, take that to your head. They used to bring Lawton to VA boxing back in the days, in the 70s and stuff like that. And they used to take Virginia to go up in Lawton. And most of the time, people would tell you that know about it, that, you know, Virginia always come back, you know, with L's, you know, going and coming. But you had the Rock on there. So when the Rock come, it's a whole different story. You know, the Rock, it was different. And they had this big vicious dude, man, in Lawton, man. They call him like Blango. You know, that was his name, Blango, but they used to call him Mandingo because he was so big, so strong, and he was known for just knocking out everybody that he fought. Boom, boom, just knocking them out. He was crushing everybody. So along come the Rock. Along come Sam Pitts, you know. So Sam go up in there to fight him, man, and you know, it's just buzzing all over the system, all everywhere. Lawton talking about it, Virginia talking about it, because this the big, like the heavyweight championship right here. This what everybody want to see, you know, because this dude is vicious and they say Sam vicious, you know, and they rumbling, man. They get it in. They started out, they say the first round is just, you know, back and forth, you know, two big heavyweights just slugging it out, boom, taking big shots and everything. Winging it, I mean, throwing power, bam, bam. And they say in the second round, you know, old boy catch Sam in the ribs, boom, with a big shot. Come to find out, in the end, he broke Sam's ribs, you know. But Sam a warrior, you know what I'm saying? The ultimate warrior at that. And say Sam weathered that, man. And in the third round, they come out and they banging for about the first minute or something, and Sam catching, boom, 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 knock him out. Knocked him out. Yeah, Sam knocked out the big Lawton legend. Yeah, Sam Pitts. Only one with a win. Sam Pitts. Yeah, knocked out the killer, the gorilla. Yeah, Sam Pitts, man. Yeah, this we talking about a bad man right here, man. Bad man. Hopefully, as I'm talking in this video, I've also uploaded some pictures. Shout out Hollywood Trail. Hopefully, he got a couple of pictures of Sam. They ain't the best pictures. I wanted y'all to see him tip-top shape with his shirt and stuff on, but I can't get those pictures yet. I have them, and I know they exist, so I'm trying to get them. Maybe I'll bring them to y'all later, but you see that face. You look at that menacing face. You look at that statue, as there should be one of them in there, too, with him standing up, and then, yeah, animal. Yeah, that's a 6'3", 6'3" and a half, 230-pound chiseled rock. Yeah, with bombs on the end of his wrist. Yeah, Sam knocked him out. Sam left with broke ribs, but he left with a broke heart and unconscious. You know, this Sam pissed. You know, this Sam pissed. And then, you know, my man was telling me, his friend, about one of the incidents that I'd always heard of about too, and he broke it down to me, was giving me the details. You know, not even shortly after that, as I told y'all before, one of Sam's greatest pastimes as well, besides boxing, was gambling, man. Sam was a compulsive gambler. He was an avid gambler. He loved it. That was his pastime. That's what he did, you know, for enjoyment. And a lot of dudes do it in prison. I done told y'all about the poker wars and the skin wars and the dice wars and the parlay wars. People love that stuff in prison because that's our only entertainment. That's our TV. That's our club. That's our, you know, going to different cities and trap. That's what it is. It's the gambling. It takes you away. It gives you that thrill. It's the same reason why people flood the casinos out here. It's that adrenaline. And in prison is no different. You know what I'm saying? In fact, it's even magnified because it's all we have. You know, and Sam loved that stuff, man. He loved it. And a lot of times in prison, you'll go on win streaks where you just winning and winning everything. And Sam loved gambling so much, like I told y'all in his first story, he'd gamble so much sometime where he'd get on a lucky streak and he'd beat all the gamblers. He got all the money. And there can't nobody gamble because ain't nobody got no money. See what I'm saying? Because in prison, it's just one circulating pot of money. It ain't like everybody got money, do blue, 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 blue. No, it's just one circulating pot of money. And everybody trying to win each person money to get it all. And there'd be times where Sam may have it all. And he's so bored then, he'll go loan all the gamblers money just so they can gamble some more. Just so they can gamble some more. Yeah, crazy world, but this is what it goes on in prison. And, you know, at this time, you know, it was told to me, you know, that he was on a losing streak. He had been losing real bad, man. And then, like I say, he the type of dude now, he can go gorilla that stuff. He can go take it and everything, but then, you know, they ain't gonna play with you no more. So now he done killed the only pastime that he got because dudes don't want to gamble with you no more because they figure you gonna take the money back. So he wouldn't even want to do that because he wouldn't want to stop what he needed to you know, to get his adrenaline off, to help him. So that was a no-brainer. So he said he was losing, man, real bad, and he was down and out on his gambling and stuff, and he, you know, he even actually owed money, this, that, and the third, and said they had a dude on there at the time that was supposed to be going ready to go to court and snitch on somebody, right? He was getting ready to go to court and tell on somebody, testify on somebody, you know, to get dude more time, possibly even the lecture chair, to help his own situation. And then word got out about it that that's what he was there doing. So Sam was known too now to be an enforcer, and he was also known to be a loan shark, and he was also known to be a hitman in the penitentiary. Yeah, you could go purchase Sam. You could take a contract out on somebody with Sam, and if the money was right, the dude was late. You understand me? Late. You can put an order in. I want him beat down. I want him leg broke. I want him dead. Yeah, depending on Sam might take that contract. You know, straight like that. Yeah. Yeah, this is real stuff I'm talking to y'all about right now. That's Sam. You know, because that's how he was living. He knew in his mind and in his heart, obviously, he won't go get out of the penitentiary, which God forbid he never did. You know, never walked out of the penitentiary alive. But I guess he knew that already. So he acted accordingly, and he lived by his own rules and did what he wanted to do, did whatever benefited him or was good with him and his conscience. That's how he lived. So the dude supposed to have pulled up on Sam and told Sam, or Sam pulled up on him about getting a loan, you know, and the dude told him that not only would he give him a loan, he would give him a certain amount of money and cover all his debts and put some in his pocket if he went and took care of the problem of the dude that was going snitch on somebody, right? So I guess the proposal was good enough to Sam. What Sam said he'll take it. So Sam take the contract. So now he contracted to, you know, basically go take a dude out, you know, and I guess he good with that. He good with it, you know. And the partner that I was talking to, that I won't mention his name because he out here in this free world living, doing good. Salute to him. That he with him. He with Sam with whatever Sam gonna do. So they like discussing the situation or whatnot. And like I say, Sam human too. He got a heart like everybody else. He bleed, breathe, and everything else like everybody else. Plus, ain't nobody just gonna let you kill him. I would hope not anyway, you know. But Sam saying that you know, he gonna talk to the dude first, right? And see if he can make the dude recant and don't do it, because he don't want to see nobody get no life sentence or electric chair just because somebody telling you, like, basically helping the system. So Sam having mercy within his heart, tell me he gonna talk to him. But at the end of the day, you know, the dude like, well, how you gonna talk to him? You done already took the contract. You still owe the dude. So, so Sam say, well, if I talk to him and if I can convince him or he can convince me, then maybe I can just go back and kill the dude and keep the money. Yeah, I can just go back and kill him and keep the money, you know, and kill that debt right there. But if he acting like he don't want to recant and this is what he want to do and he exposed himself to be a rat, then I just take the contract and finish the contract, you know. So dude like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So this is crazy, this penitentiary though. So Sam and him, Sam broken ribs and all, they pull up on the dude. They go to another building, a building that they don't even supposed to be in. They go to another building, go in the building to fulfill the contract. Go up the stairs, all the way up to the 300 tiers. 400 is 4 tiers in the wall. That's 4 tiers. They high as, I don't know what. You know, 4th tier make you nauseous. Made me nauseous. I don't like heights. But they go up to the 3rd tier with the dude, you know, out of bounds in another building, put up on the dude to his cell, you know, and old boy hold the door down and Sam go in and talk to the dude, asking him, what's up, man? The word is you supposed to be going to testify on somebody, blah, blah, blah. So the dude is trying to talk his way out of it, but then he basically letting Sam know, look, this is what he got to do. He gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? He even already said he do it, he committed or whatever. Sam telling him he can't do it. That ain't, you know, that ain't convict, that ain't penitentiary stuff. He still saying he gonna do it. So Sam started whooping him, you know, boom, bang, boom, boom. You know, but the dude Sam got broke ribs, and the dude fighting for his life up in this little cell, and he trying to scramble to get out, and Sam manhandling him in there. He scrambling, gets out the door. So Sam partner outside the door. Sam partner see him, pull the joint out, try to hit him. When he try to hit him, the joint hit his arm and fall over the tip. So he run down the tier now, going trying to get the knife all the way down 3 tiers to get this knife that's down there on the floor. And the dude is scrambling trying to get away. So Sam come out the cell, Sam chasing him, and Sam end up cornering him at the end of the stairs while he trying to go down the stairs. Sam cornered him at the end of the tier and manhandling him. He touched it with Sam trying to get off. By now, his partner is downstairs. He'd have grabbed a knife, so Sam tell him to throw it up here. Throw it. He said, I can't. He said, throw it up here. So Sam holding him with one hand while he scrambling trying to get off Sam, and Sam try to catch the knife, and the knife don't make it. The knife go back down there. So Sam just say, you know, F it, and grab him and manhandle him and lift this man up and throw this man off of the 3rd tier. 3rd tier. And I'm telling you real actual facts. Throw this man off the 3rd tier. Now, if you've been in the wall or you know how tall these tiers is, the best way I can explain it to you is more or less like something that y'all probably seen, like a Shawshank Redemption, like them cells just stacked up. That's what it's like. And Sam throws this man off for the 3rd tier. And the only thing that actually saved this man's life was the fact that they was at the end of the tier where the stairway was, and the trajectory which Sam threw him in, he hit the stairway banister, flipped over there, hit the stairs, and rolled down to the bottom. But the man still broke ribs, broke collarbones, broke arms, and broke both legs, you know. And that ain't even all, because Sam wasn't finished because the job won't finish. So Sam and old boy is trying to run down there and catch him while he down there. But by now, The people have been alerted and the police is flooding in and they running in there and they scared to death because they know Sam involved and they got floods and floods of police, you know, and Sam ended up getting locked up. Old boy got locked up. Old dude gets sent to the hospital and everything is cast up and Sam ended up getting attempted murder charge. You know what I'm saying? Which didn't hurt him anyway because he already knew his situation was already dire. You know, but this is what goes on in the penitentiary. This is what real killers is doing in the penitentiary. This was real savage life is like in the penitentiary. You understand me? This is what you may have to deal with in the penitentiary. Yeah, and I'm looking straight at the camera and I'm like, how many of y'all built for that? How many of y'all built for that? How many of you dudes is going to court right now and catching these cases and getting in trouble and then you trying to tell on your partner and this, that, and the third and then it don't help you anyway because the people still going to crush you too. You still going and you go in and you got that tag on your name that you done told on somebody and they might want to put a contract on you and send somebody like Sam to come get you. Yeah, to come get you. Yeah, it don't cause mustard in the penitentiary because everybody in there starving. Everybody starving. Anybody might take a contract. You just better hope it ain't nobody like Sam who gonna fulfill it because of his honor. Because he said he would. Yeah, you know, trust and believe, man. This penitentiary, man. This real life, this stuff going on in here on a day-to-day basis. This is some of the legend of Sam Pitts, which is a lot more. A lot more. In the penitentiary, he did it. He been known to smack dudes with open hands and break their jaw. That's how heavy his hands was. That's how vicious he was. Then he'll smile and you'll look at him big and burly with this big old knotty beard and everything. And he'll smile, man, and he'll light you up, man, look like a little kid, man. But let him turn that smile into a growl. And you facing death. You looking at death. Yeah. They used to say, yeah, Sam coming in the building. Say, yeah. And he bringing hell with him. And he bringing hell with him. It's hell up with Sam. Yeah, Sam Pitt, the Rock, man. Salute to the king, you know. And not that I'm glorifying him, I'm just explaining him. This is who he was. This is fact, not fiction. This ain't a movie, this ain't a book, this is fact. This was a real, live, breathing man who lived that life on his own terms, the way he wanted to live it, and he didn't care. And if you got in his way, he gonna move you. He gonna move you. Whoever you are, whatever you are, administration, convict, gang, whoever, he didn't care. He didn't care because he didn't worry about dying. But he felt like the odds was always gonna be in his favor. You dig? So yeah, man, shout out to the king, you know, the Rock, the legend, you know, Sam Pitts. Shout out to all the other legends in there, man, still rumbling for their freedom, man. Shout out to Bo Billy, you know, shout out to Spook Dust. Shout out to all the legends, man, that put that work in and put that time in and, you know, did what they had to do to survive in the concrete jungle, man, where, you know, only few of us live to tell about, you know. So shout out to him, man. Big love, you know, to Sam, man. May his soul rest in peace, man. And I'm quite sure there's a lot of other people that probably, you know, would say different. They want his soul to be miserable. But, you know, all in all, man, even saying and explaining some of the things I explained to y'all, the way he was and the way he lived, man, he still was a human being. He still was flawed. And he still had a heart. I've seen his heart. I've seen it. I've been around him for many years. And I know at heart he's a good dude. You know, but when you a good dude and you in a bad place, probably the worst gonna come out you. So, you know, shout out to Sam Pitts, man. But anyway, man, I wanted to drop that on y'all, man. I hope the pictures is involved in this video. If it's not, just use your imagination. Hopefully I painted a good picture. Peace and love to everybody out there. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. And in every lesson, man, there's a blessing. The blessing is you ain't never had to deal and stir down Sam Pitts. Ain't you glad? I think you are. Anyway, man, y'all keep it up out there, man. And always remember, man, boom, 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 boom. Duck them hooks. They out there everywhere. Better hope there one of them ain't Sam Pitts.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is
is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.